That's the last door. We done got the Kell, Shawn, guys, and now we at Crawford door, so.
Gamboa fight. The Gamboa did this, Gamboa did that. I whitewashed Gamboa. Gamboa is no more. He's not the same after he fought Terence Crawford.
They were champions, warriors, men who believed they could stop Terence Crawford. Instead, they were destroyed. This is what happens when world champions face the pound-for-pound king. Errol Spence Jr. thought he was unbeatable.
Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terence Crawford next.
You don't know, talk to him. Well, tell your nigga be quiet. Talk to me. Well, tell your nigga be quiet. Talk to me. Tell your nigga to be quiet. Talk to me. Tell your nigga to be quiet. All right, now you talking to me. Tell your nigga to be quiet. Back to what we was talking about. Whatever. Try that body shot shit. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you.
Crack. Crawford's left hand sent him into oblivion. Shawn Porter believed his awkward style would work. His own father had to save him from further punishment. Amir Khan swore his speed would be the difference. He quit on his stool, broken and beaten.
And then starts finding your weaknesses, and then he gets nasty with you. And I love one of the things I like about him is how f***ing mean he is.
Champions crushed. Crawford's legacy, knockouts that shock boxing.
I got power in both hands, and I'm blessed with the boxing ability and the IQ that I have, and that's gonna take me a long way in this boxing game.
Welcome to Boxing Fever, to the champions, and found out why he's called the most dangerous fighter in boxing. From the hostile crowds in Scotland to the bright lights of Las Vegas, from lightweight to light middleweight, Crawford didn't just beat champions. He systematically destroyed their legacies, their confidence, and their careers. Fight! Kell Brook came with a stoppage. Israel Madrimov tried to derail the Crawford train and barely survived to hear the final bell. From Spence to Porter, from Khan to Indongo, champions who believed they had the answers, only left with broken dreams. Terence Crawford isn't just beating champions, he's destroying legacies. Which Crawford KO shocked you the most? Comment below and hit subscribe for more legends of the fight game. This is Boxing Fever. Let's go. Disrespect. At just 20 years old, Terence Crawford had traveled 4,000 miles from Omaha, Nebraska to Glasgow, Scotland for his first world title shot. The disrespect was immediate and vicious. Only 600 people even bothered showing up to the weigh-in. The British media called him a tune-up fight. Burns' team laughed when asked about Crawford's chances. They said this quiet kid from Nebraska didn't belong in the same ring as their champion.
People tend to forget as well, it's going to be the most difficult fight for Terence Crawford. But I can assure you that he'll never have seen or heard anything like it.
Burns himself was supremely confident, telling reporters that Crawford was different than all the other ones, implying he'd be an easier knockout. The Scottish crowd chanted that Crawford would go night-night. They had no idea they were about to piss off a bear. The awakening. From the opening bell, something was different. Crawford moved with slicker feet than anyone expected. His levers were longer, his counters were sharper. While Burns came forward trying to impose his will.
I get in the fight and I'm like, dang, this dude is like better than I thought.
Burns landing a long right hand. And again, nice left this time.
Crawford was downloading data like a computer analyzing its prey. He studied Burns' patterns, memorized his timing, and then he found it, the weakness. Crawford began targeting the exact spot where Burns' jaw had been broken. Every time Burns winced, Crawford's eyes lit up like a shark smelling blood. Round after round, he dissected the champion with surgical precision.
Nice left hand from Burns, but look, it made no impression on Crawford, who came straight back at him.
Those 10,000 Scottish fans went from roaring to silent as they watched their hero get systematically destroyed by this unknown American.
Yes, he did, man. Hey, that's a true champion right there. Ricky is a true champion and a gentleman. Him and his coach, their whole team, as a matter of fact.
When the final bell rang, Crawford had survived enemy territory and captured the WBO lightweight championship. Standing in that hostile ring, holding the belt above his head, he whispered, "That was my whole dream."
A moment of history for the American, the first Omaha born and raised world champion.
But the dream was just beginning. The monster had been awakened, the Golden Boy's destruction. 3 months later, Crawford returned home to Omaha for the city's first championship fight in 42 years. His opponent? Julius Gamboa, an Olympic gold medalist backed by Floyd Mayweather and promoted by 50 Cent.
Because they don't realize what kind of talent Gamboa has and begin to follow. They'll become fans. It's a sport of boxing. It's a tough sport.
The Cuban superstar walked to the ring like he owned it, telling got careless. He dropped his hands, showboating for his hometown crowd. Crack.
Gamboa was on the pound-for-pound list. Yeah. Gamboa was very explosive. Gamboa was very fast, you know, and he hit me with a shot that I was overconfident. If you watch that fight, I put my hands down, I stepped right into the punch, and I didn't see it.
Thought he had Crawford figured out. That's when Crawford flipped that switch. What followed was pure violence dressed as art. Crawford adapted mid-fight, finding another gear that Gamboa didn't know existed. A thunderous right-left combination sent Gamboa crashing to the canvas.
He dropped him, hit him with the right hand and the left hand, and the knee went down.
The Olympic champion's eyes were suddenly watching two different fights. Round 8, another devastating knockdown. Gamboa was looking for a comfortable place to lie down. Round 9 arrived like an execution. Crawford got buzzed briefly, but instead of backing off, he turned from a boxer into an assassin. A vicious left hook sent Gamboa's mouthpiece flying into the third row.
Of Gamboa, he drops him again. That's a hard knockdown that time.
The Cuban warrior tried to survive, but with 22 seconds left, Crawford unleashed a combination so brutal that Gamboa's corner considered throwing in the towel before he hit the canvas. The referee didn't even count. It was over. Crawford had just destroyed an Olympic champion in front of his hometown. He wasn't just good, he had become an American star. The beatdown tour begins. Ray Beltran thought he had the blueprint. He'd broken Ricky Burns' jaw and arguably won 7 or 8 rounds in their fight. Surely he could handle Crawford. Wrong. Dead wrong. Crawford set a pace that turned Beltran into a heavy bag with legs. He was too active, too accurate, and too awkward for the Mexican warrior to solve.
Knows it's been a problem all night. Big left hand. Here's Crawford on the assault, trying to finish it right now. But there's not gonna be...
And too awkward for the Mexican warrior to solve. It wasn't a fight. It was a one-sided beatdown that left Beltran questioning his career choices.
Champion of the world, Terence Crawford.
Then came Hank Lundy in New York. The Philly fighter spent the entire week running his mouth, calling Crawford soft and overrated.
Oh, this is what I do, man. It's showtime now. Fight week, let's go.
He promised to expose the champion as for leaving his body. The knockdown was so clean that even Lundy's own corner winced. But Crawford wasn't done teaching lessons. Round 5, he dropped Lundy again, and then did something that would become his signature.
Crawford wailing away at Lundy in the corner, and Willis is going to stop it.
He stood over his fallen opponent with an ice-cold stare down that said more than any words could. The referee stopped it right there. Lundy learned that night what happens when you disrespect Terence Crawford. Molina's mistake. John Molina Jr. made perhaps the dumbest decision in boxing history. Mid-fight, he actually called for a slugfest, gesturing Crawford to stand and trade. Crawford so clean, it could have been in a textbook. But Crawford wasn't satisfied with just dropping him. He chased Molina to the corner like a lion stalking wounded prey. A body shot folded Molina in half, turning his insides to mush. Then came the combination, body, head, left, right. Each punch more devastating than the last. Molina didn't just go down, he went down hard. The knockout was so brutal that Molina's corner was already throwing in the towel before their fighter hit the canvas. Postol, the mental destruction. Victor Postol was different. He just knocked out Lucas Mathesy, and his trainer, the legendary Freddie Roach, was betting everyone that Postol would KO Crawford.
Box Nation, coming over here.
1,000 KO.
KO?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Beverly Hilton hosted the announcement like it was already Postol's coronation. Crawford had other plans, circuits completely. This wasn't just a physical beating. Crawford was working him out mentally.
Make a point right now. This is the type of fight we thought we'd see all along.
By doing
Crawford said, no, you can't do anything with me.
Near the end of a round, a simple jab buckled Postol's legs like someone had cut his strings. The discussion shifted from who was number 1 versus number 2 to whether Postol would survive. He did, barely, losing a unanimous decision. Watching Crawford that night, one commentator said it perfectly. "We're watching a great fighter in his prime. They had no idea how right they were. Undisputed." Julius Indongo thought his 3-inch height advantage would matter. Other dimension. A right hand to the body had Indongo gasping for air he couldn't find.
Backhands a right hand to the body, and that's going to be a knockdown score.
Crawford followed with a left behind the ear that made Indongo's equilibrium abandon him completely. The second knockdown was pure violence, and for him to stay down. When it was over, Crawford had become the undisputed champion. 4 belts, 1 man. Undefeated and now undisputed, Crawford had conquered the light welterweight division entirely.
Still undefeated, and now the undisputed junior welterweight champion of the world.
Welterweight terror. Jeff Horn had just beaten Manny Pacquiao in a controversial decision. He was confident that Crawford's move up to 147 pounds, his 3rd weight jump, would be his downfall. Horn came forward with his typical pressure, Horn's nightmare. An uppercut had him seeing ghosts. Round 8 was target practice. Body shot, strafing headshots. Crawford was painting a masterpiece of violence. Round 9 became a horror movie. A left-right uppercut combination sent Horn stumbling backward like a drunk leaving a bar. Another left hand dropped him with 40 seconds left in the round. Crawford walked to the corner, landed another combination, and the referee had seen enough. One observer said it best. That was like watching a Volkswagen race a Ferrari.
It was a Volkswagen against a Ferrari, and the guy driving the Volkswagen was a bad driver.
Horn never stood a chance. Jose Benavidez Jr. was 27-0 and had recently been shot in the leg while walking his dog. He'd recovered and wanted to prove he was still elite. The pre-fight confrontation was heated. With Benavidez promising to humble Crawford. Crawford doubled up his right hand early, then went to work inside with body punches that sounded like someone chopping wood. A 3-punch combination, followed by another body shot, had Benavidez breathing like he'd run a marathon. Crawford landed 100 of 238 power punches, turning Benavidez into a human heavy bag. Then Crawford got careless, got caught with a shot, but instead of being hurt, he got angry.
He made me work in the early rounds. He was trying to counter me. He started getting tired, so I seen him starting leaning more and more because I was touching him to the body.
The huge right hand that ended the fight was thrown with such bad intentions that Benavidez was unconscious before he hit the canvas. Crawford stood over him and mouthed, "Best in the world. Ken's nightmare." Amir Khan had only lost to the best, but his chin concerns made him easy to overlook. Crawford didn't overlook anything.
Fighting one of the best top fighters in the world. It's about how you come into a fight, and I've trained very hard. We're going to see who the best is on Saturday night.
Round 1, a lead right hand dropped Khan immediately. The British fighter got up, but Crawford was already in hunting mode. Sweeping punches backed Khan up. Body punches set up headshots in sequences that looked like video game combinations. Crawford switched stances, orthodox to southpaw and back again, confusing Khan so badly he didn't know which way to defend. A 3-punch combination landed clean. Then came the sequence. Big left hand, uppercut, right hook. Khan later said Crawford was making me miss by inches while landing everything he threw. Crawford was like a shark smelling blood, circling his prey, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The controversial low-blow stoppage saved Khan from further punishment. When Khan quit, Crawford just shrugged. The message was clear. He would have finished him anyway. The Olympian's education. Julius Kavaliauskas brought 300-plus amateur fights and 2 Olympic appearances to the ring. Early on, a controversial slip ruling saved Crawford from what should have been a knockdown.
Oh, Kavaliauskas comes forward, and Bud Crawford was hurt.
Kavaliauskas actually hurt Crawford a couple of times, but that just made Crawford angry. Round 5, Crawford hurt him early with a left uppercut in the kitchen, that inside range where Crawford was most dangerous. A 3-punch combination while in orthodox stance had Kavaliauskas wobbling. Round 7, down went the Olympian for an 8 count. Crawford smelled the finish, looking to end it in the final seconds. Round 8, Crawford took off to find his rhythm. Round 9, he found it. A lunging left, followed by a brilliant uppercut, turned Kavaliauskas' lights out completely. The knockout was so perfect that even Kavaliauskas' corner applauded Crawford's skill. Breaking Brook. Kell Brook came in with orbital bone fractures from his wars with Spence and Golovkin. He had a size advantage and believed his experience would matter. Crawford's timing and accuracy made Brook's advantages irrelevant. The stoppage was clinical, calculated, and cruel. Crawford didn't just beat Brook, he beat him better than Errol Spence had. Brook's corner threw in the towel not because their fighter was hurt, but because they could see what was coming. Crawford had turned one of Britain's best into a punching bag. Porter's last stand. Shawn Porter was different. They were friends turned rivals, and Porter's awkward, mauling style had given everyone problems.
My legacy depends on this fight because, as I told you, I've been at the top. This is the big test. Now the test is coming, and we'll see what happens.
Round 2 saw a good exchange inside with blood appearing on Porter's eye. Porter went face first into the corner, not ruled a knockdown, but a sign of things to come. Crawford was playing chess while Porter was trying to knock the pieces off the board. Round 6 brought back and forth action that had the crowd on its feet. Round 8 showcased Crawford's sharp shooting and bodywork. 28 body punches that were tenderizing Porter's ribs like a chef preparing meat.
That's the main shot that Crawford gets hit with, often. With that right there, beautiful step back.
Porter wouldn't break despite Crawford's shots. He kept coming forward, kept trying to make it ugly. Then Crawford pulled out his iconic switch flick, a stance change mid-combination that completely confused Porter's defense. Round 10 sealed it. Crawford scored a knockdown with his signature half-step back counter. A right hook landed flush, and Porter went down hard. But it was what happened next that shocked everyone. Kenny Porter, Shawn's father and trainer, stopped the fight from the apron. A father saving his son from further punishment. Crawford had just delivered his most impressive win to date, the Avanesyan warm-up. David Avanesyan was a stay-busy fight while the Spence mega fight was being negotiated. Avanesyan had recently upset Josh Kelly in the UK and thought he had a puncher's chance. Crawford was relaxed, countering effectively, making Avanesyan miss by millimeters while landing everything he threw. Round 6 brought a clinical stoppage. Crawford didn't celebrate much. This was a lackluster event, but everyone knew the big one was coming. Avanesyan had served his purpose as a tune-up. The real test was next. Spence, the statement. The Errol Spence Jr. fight was billed as the most anticipated fight of the decade.
That's the last door. We done got the Kell, Shawn, guys, and now we at Crawford door, so.
Spence was confident despite his car crash history. He promised to walk through Crawford and prove who the real welterweight king was.
You ain't fought nobody, man. You haven't beat anybody.
What did I do to Shawn Porter that you couldn't
Shawn
do?
Porter said he did not train.
You
feel like you don't get the respect that you deserve?
Always. Why
is that?
But how great I am. I look at all the great fighters that came before me. None of them got their respect until A, they lost or they retired.
Crawford made it look way too easy. 8 straight rounds of complete domination.
And there's a combination that drops Errol Spence for the first time in his career.
Crawford didn't just beat Spence, he embarrassed him. Every exchange, every combination, every moment belonged to Crawford. He threw Spence's ceiling into dispute and left his career in turmoil. The fight was so one-sided that people questioned if Spence was ever that good or if Crawford was just that much better. The answer was both. Madrimov, the reality check. Moving up to 154 pounds for a 4th Division World Championship, Crawford faced Israel Madrimov with Turkey Al-Sheikh's Saudi money, making a Canelo fight possible if he won. For the first time in years, Crawford looked human. He was badly marked up. Madrimov landed heavier shots than anyone had in recent memory. It was the first time in 8 years Crawford went the distance. The controversial decision win raised questions about whether Crawford could handle Canelo's size and power. The invincibility cloak had slipped, just a little. The legacy, from that scared kid in Scotland with only 600 people at his weigh-in, to a 4-division champion who destroyed 27 world-class fighters, Terence Crawford's journey is one of systematic revenge against everyone who ever doubted him. He's an inch out of range physically, a step ahead mentally, and unbreakable spiritually. His trainer called him the greatest instincts ever seen. His opponents called him a nightmare. The fans call him the best finisher in the game. With composure, versatility, and the best skill set in the sport, Crawford didn't just beat champions. He broke them mentally before destroying them physically. They said he was too small, too quiet, too nice. They were wrong about everything except the quiet part, because Terence Crawford let his fist do all the talking, and when they spoke, they said one thing clearly: don't ever disrespect the kid from Omaha. And that's what happens when you mistake kindness for weakness. Crawford proved that sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous. If it makes money, it makes sense. And a Canelo fight would be a pay-per-view blockbuster. But whether that fight happens or not, which Crawford KO shocked you the most? Comment below and hit subscribe for more legends of the fight game.